According to CDC numbers, minority workers at meat and chicken processing plants have been the hardest hit by the coronavirus, accounting for 56% of cases reported in plants across 21 states. The latest CDC data shows there were more than 17,000 cases and 91 deaths among the 23 states that reported COVID-19 outbreaks through May 30th. About 87% were among minority groups. In April, President Trump signed an executive order compelling meat and poultry plants to stay open as coronavirus-related deaths and infections escalated. Staff writer at The New Yorker, Jane Mayer, has new reporting on this. Her latest piece is entitled Back to the Jungle. Trump is helping a meat processing titan leverage the pandemic to strip workers of protections. Jane, take us through what you found out.
Thanks. I went into Sussex County, Delaware, which is a coronavirus hotspot because it has so many poultry plants. And I was interviewing people at one plant in particular, Mount Ayr is the company. It's a very successful company, the sixth largest chicken company in America. And what I found out was that it's owned by one of Trump's largest donors, a man named Ron Cameron, who gave Trump something like $3 million for his campaign's various sort of PACs and things in 2016. And he's given Trump more than $1 million this year and more than $5 million to other Republican organizations this year. He's been a huge donor to the Republican Party. And what I discovered was that almost all of the things that we think of as federal protections for workers have been swept aside with Trump's executive order. And the same man, Ron Cameron, was one of the people who was brought in to advise Trump on this. And he's gotten waivers for his plant to speed up the line for chicken workers, which is something that increases injuries in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, and that the workers are, oh my gosh, it was basically the best way to describe it is the way maybe that David Michaels described it, who was the head of OSHA under the Obama administration. He said it's back to Upton Sinclair's jungle. The people I interviewed, one said it's slavery, baby. They have no choice. They're essential workers. They have to go to work. The factory is not telling them how many cases there are around them. OSHA is barely any presence at all there. The National Labor Relations Board is making them have an election in the middle of this to decertify their union. It's really quite incredible what's going on at that level in this country.
And were you able to get a comment from the company or from the administration on this?
I was. The company said it's a challenge for everybody. And they've said that they felt they had to change the rules for the workers because when originally the CDC had said essential workers could stay home for 14 days if they'd been exposed, like other people in this country. But then they've discovered that essential workers were home for 14 days, so they just revised the standard. And what the workers were saying was that they get 5 days paid partial pay if they actually have the coronavirus, and then they have to get back to work. It's a difficult situation, obviously, for everybody, but it's quite amazing to see how a donor to Trump, who is as wealthy as Ron Cameron, he's got $327 million in a private foundation and is giving away millions, and the people who work in this plant know it. One of them said, how can he give $2 million, $3 million to Trump? The workers were given a $1 raise, which was taken away from them again. And one of the workers said to me, what are we, animals?
Yeah. Mike Barnicle, jump in.
So, Jane, this latest great piece by you in The New Yorker, thank you very much, is really another portion of the 4-decade-long assault on government. That's the way it seems to me, having read it last night. Could you speak a bit about the slow stripping of the National Labor Relations Board, occupational health and safety, and the assault on labor unions in this country and what happens when all three of those battles are fought at the same time in unison by this administration?
Thanks, Mike. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think what we're looking at is the culmination of a 40-year campaign to erode all kinds of federal programs. There's been a lot of libertarian money thrown at getting rid of what Steve Bannon likes to call the administrative state. And what's left are workers kind of fending for themselves at the bottom level. And there have been some new studies. There was one that just came out of Harvard by Larry Summers and another economist that shows that basically union membership for private sector unions has gone from about 35% in the 1950s down to 6% now. So, and as those unions have eroded, so has the power of the workers on the bottom. And the money, if you look at it, has almost completely, the math works, that you can see that it's been redistributed to the top. So it goes to people like Ron Cameron, who then put it into politics and promote policies that promote their interests. He happens to be a very strong religious conservative, but he's also promoting very big pro-business policies for businesses like his own that keep eroding these safeguards for workers. So it's kind of a continual motion machine.
Yeah. Jane Mayer, thank you so much. Her new reporting is in the new issue of The New Yorker. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.